Some of us drink coffee or soda to give us the caffeine we need to get us through the day. Some prefer energy drinks or supplements. But what about a caffeine gummy? Tonight we journey to the Far East to try the Tough Gummy and two other Japanese snacks and ask, you tried that? You tried that? I'm Nick Nork and the pal Chad Hancock.
Howdy.
Nick Geiger.
Hello.
Did you guys know this had caffeine in it before I just told you?
I didn't, and I don't know if that makes me... Does that make me less excited about it, I think? I don't know, because I was like looking at it, I'm like, oh, this could be pretty good. But I feel like the addition of caffeine is like a gimmick, right?
Yeah.
To try to sell your shitty gummy, probably.
Geiger, you get your caffeine intake from cup after cup of coffee, correct?
Yes. Yeah, I drink coffee continuously throughout the day.
Chad, do you have any? Because you stopped drinking soda, I know. Where do you get caffeine from anyway?
I did, yeah. I stopped drinking it this year again. I had picked it back up last year, but I'm off soda again this year. It's tea. I drink so much tea, at least like 4 or 5 cups of tea a day, probably. Okay. But that's like nothing. Like, like 1 cup of tea. It's like, what is it? Like 3 or 4 cups of tea makes up 1 cup of coffee.
Yeah.
So I'm still pretty sleepy all the time. But Novak, you pound Red Bulls, right? And you just like
yes,
you snort them through a straw into your nose. Is that right?
Yes, Mountain Dew, Code Red, Bull, both of those.
You mix Mountain Dew and Code Red,
give me a glass of your finest red. And I'm referring to Mountain Dew Code Red.
You swirl it around. The tannins of this Mountain Dew.
What year is this? Oh, 2021. Okay, that's actually pretty old. Somewhat disgusting.
That'd explain why it's flat as hell.
You're like sniffing it. You're like, I detect notes of neck beard.
Okay, Chad.
Yeah,
you went to the zoo.
I did. I went to the Oakland Zoo yesterday, and so right now, at the time of year that we're taping this, which is spoiler alert, late January, they have an event that is called Glowfari at the Oakland Zoo, and what it is it's late at night, so you go, after the sun has gone down. Pretty much all the animals, for the most part, are asleep. But what they have is they have all these like intricate light displays put up throughout the zoo. And it's like really, really beautiful, right? Like they have like this giant octopus that's probably like 20 feet high, made out of lights. And, like huge alligator that you can like walk through, like you walk into the mouth and then like it shits you out of its butt basically as you walk through it, stuff like that.
Sounds hot.
Yeah.
That must be an all everywhere zoo thing, because all the zoos here started doing that too. So
yeah,
just to make a few bucks in the winter.
Exactly. So it's it's a lot of fun. It was we had a great time, but we're walking through. There's one area where it's like a bunch of on the right hand side. There's all these like lighted bears, right? And they're like white, like polar bear, and there's some penguins, and it's basically just like a whole like snow ice display. But on the other side is the actual bear enclosure for like the real grizzly bears that they have at the zoo. And pretty much every animal was asleep when we were there, except the grizzly bear. We're walking past and there's enough light coming from this other bear display that you can see the grizzly bear. And the grizzly bear is in there, it's walking around. It's like sniffing the grass. It's doing its thing. So I'm like, it's a pretty thin walkway and I'm stuck, but I'm like pulling a wagon and I'm stuck behind these like 2 old ladies, like couldn't be walking slower. And they just stop and they're like staring at the bear for a good 10, 20 seconds in like silence. I don't mind because I love bears, right? It's my favorite animal. You guys know this.
Sure. Oh, you're a bear fan.
Yeah.
Not a bad places to be stuck, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just standing there watching it bear down. And I'll watch a grizzly bear all day. It's fine. But then these 2 ladies are silent. And then all of a sudden, one of them turns to the other one. And she's like, wait a second. She says this in all seriousness. I think that's actually a real bear. And the other lady like kind of like turns her head and like looks at her and like, yeah, of course it is. We're at the zoo. The first lady's like, oh, I thought it was like animatronic at first. And I'm like, you thought they had like an animatronic bear that would just like walk around, eat grass?
Welcome to Chuck E. Cheese Zoo. That one's playing the guitar.
Like, you're at the zoo, lady. Of course it's a real bear.
What the fuck? Is that the first real... Like, did she think the entire enclosure was all robots until that time?
I don't know. It was very strange. And she seemed very confused as they like walked on that there would be an actual bear at the zoo.
He's doing the Dougie. That doesn't make sense.
I just came straight here from Country Bear Jamboree. This is all I know. Mechanical bears. So anyway, yeah, old ladies are
did
stupid.
Did she stroll into the enclosure to confirm it was real?
She's looking for the off button, just like poking it in the nose and stuff. Gets clawed to death. Yeah, that's what I watched. I watched her
You
get
buried
clawed
the
to
lead
death.
on that story.
Yeah. I watched her do it. I was like, I'll watch a bear do anything. I love bears. I'll watch them maul an old lady to death. It's fine. Claw, rip her intestines out, spin it around like a lasso. I'll watch that.
Oh, that old lady was real. I thought she was just a robot. Got spilling
I can
out
tell
the
she's
bucket.
real from the entrails. Yeah.
What realistic blood they're putting in these dummies these days.
Did you see any fish there?
No.
You also had something about fish.
They don't have fish. Yes, that's my bear story, but I'll also tell you this this fish story that I read here.
Got this fish story, fellas.
Keep them coming.
Got a fish story. Here's the headline I found. This from HuffPo. Utah teen facing charges after allegedly taping fish to ATMs. So it says a teenage boy in Provo, Utah is facing charges after allegedly taping fish to various ATMs in the city and even a police car. Of course, the fishy behavior was all documented on social media. So the unnamed 17-year-old was responsible for about a dozen fish taping incidents between August and October. And then they have a picture here that I want to show you guys of what
I'm wondering how you tape a fish.
A fish, it's literally duct taped to the screen on the ATM. Do you see this guy? Look up.
What the fuck?
It's literally just a straight up like dead fish or whatever, just stuck on the screen and then duct taped straight across its body. Authorities told the news outlet that they suspected the fish taping was done in innocent fun, but the teen has been charged with misdemeanor counts, mainly because cleaning up the fish carcasses off cars and ATMs was costing money. They said they don't know where the teen got the fish. I would guess like probably a lake or something. Maybe a fish store. I don't know.
Was there an old lady at the ATM getting money? She's like, wait, I think that's a real fish.
But apparently they busted this kid because he had an Instagram account where he documented it all, called like Fish Bandit 84. It had this tagline.
Slick.
Had the tagline, live, laugh, tape fish on ATMs. And then it said, this is no fish were harmed in the process, according to the Instagram. That is absolutely a dead fish taped to the ATM. So for you to tell me that, I mean, you took a fish out of water and you taped it to an ATM and then said it wasn't harmed. Like they can't breathe money, like I think he's lying.
Take me to the bank. Take me to the ATM.
Tell me your PIN number. Extract all of your money.
Do you want 50s or 20s? Yeah.
Is that there's no like political statement to that or anything, right? It's just
No, I think it's just a 17-year-old that said, wouldn't it be funny if I taped a fish to an ATM? And you know what? He was right.
I mean, it's kind of a victimless crime. I don't think there's... Well, the fish maybe was a victim.
Right. He's not... think it's about time we stood up to the fat cats in Washington. Taping fish to Our bank windows.
Occupy ATMs. I'll show you what. I will show you a fish's asshole.
I mean, this is the first step to this kid starting his own like Fight Club situation, right? Like it just starts with fish on ATMs. Next thing you know, you're blowing up bank buildings or whatever.
So in my high school one time, I think I might have told you all the crazy shit with my high school and how.
Probably not. You probably missed a few.
They did some bad
There was
stuff.
a guy named Fish.
There was a guy named Fish, and I taped it to an
used
ATM.
to tape him to ATMs as part of a hazing ritual.
Pulled it out of the wall with his back. I was like, "Oh goodness, that was backfire."
The old stories makes it sound like Fish is the guy who was taping children to ATMs. Wasn't he like massive?
Yeah, he taped. He came into school with an entire tarp on and just like taped it to the side of the locker. Now there was somebody. There was a particular homecoming that was really bad. There was a lot of shit that went down. They ended up getting canceled because of all the things they did. But one of the things they did that week, someone said it was a senior prank. They took like an old trout or salmon that they found. My high school was on a lake, and they found a lake, and they shoved a bunch of cigarettes in its mouth and nose and just laid it in the stairs. Hell of a prank. I was like, you just got pranked.
Senior class.
Yeah, that was the least offensive thing they did.
Was that like part of the like DARE program? And that's how they did DARE in Wisconsin to keep kids off drugs. Is like, hey, don't smoke or you'll look like this fish.
Yes.
That's the only way they can get the message through is by tying
This is a regular trout. This is a trout on cigarettes. Any questions? What? Excuse me?
I'm just saying, like in Wisconsin, you can't get the message across unless it involves killing of wildlife. Pretty much.
Yeah, they had a deer carcass just strung up saying, "Don't give out your identity online." It was just like, it was a good lesson he told us.
Take me to the drugstore. Buy me a pack of Marlboros.
I'm really into vaping. What?
I'm a 3-pack-a-day fish.
So that's the messed up thing. All this messed up stuff.
In
high school, and
that was like the least messed up. That was the least messed up. Okay, so the super messed up thing. I thought I said it on the podcast. So say it again. Our football field is at the bottom of a hill, and like you sat on the bleachers and looked down on the field, and
as one does,
right? And someone took chemicals and burned a giant swastika into the middle of our football field. And then they tried to paint it over, but the grass color was different than the paint color, and they had to cancel high school. But they also put a fish in the stairwell, so it's kind of like 50-50. We didn't know exactly what was wrong. But
this was rural Wisconsin, so they're more upset about the misuse of fish.
Don't waste the fish!
Look, burn whatever symbols you want, but for God's sakes,
just
keep
turn
the
it
pond stocked.
Just turn it into a window. You're fine. You're fine. And then they wrote like Germantown sucks in paint on the wall, so they would, or Port Washington sucks, and they to try to make it look like a rival high school did it, but like, they didn't.
I was gonna say, you didn't write Germantown. Like, Germantown sucks, but then you have a swastikas like mixed messages there. Like, pick a lane here, losers.
Poland surrendered. What? Why are we doing that? Yeah. So that was probably more the reason it got canceled, I'm guessing, than the fish.
More than the fish, yeah. Was it the same parties, do you think, or?
Yeah. Someone threw a pumpkin through one of the windows too. I don't know what that had to do with it either, but they like whipped it through the door, like window of the English class, and it broke the pane. Kind of disorganized prank campaign. There was like a couple of people like, I know, let's throw a pumpkin through, and I was like, oh, I got this trout and some cigarettes. It'll be sick. And then the third guy's like, I'll burn a swastika on the field. I'm like, excuse me. We didn't sign off on that last one. No. Too late. I already did it.
They burned a rainbow swastika into the field. It was really fucking confusing.
I'm not sure what they're for or against.
All right, Let's eat some snacks.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have 3 snacks, rate them on a 5-point scale. Love that, like that, indifferent to that, dislike that, and hate that. Let's do the caffeine first, so we can let it work its magic. Keep us up. Kabaya Tough Gummy. Is there more to the package than that, Geiger?
No. Ooh, they are tough.
I got purple and red, pretty much.
Not unless you want to follow them on Twitter.
I think I have a couple greens.
It might be a green grape. I don't know. It looks like a pink and a purple. And then, yeah, maybe some other stuff.
These are hard to get through.
And tough.
They're squishy, but like you can't.
But then the middle,
you can't break them.
Yeah, the middle's really solid. It's like you see them and you take a bite and you're like, "Is this a real gummy?" I don't know. That was an animatronic gummy. That doesn't even make sense. But I said it.
Geiger, you got all these from
Mitsuya.
local Asian grocer.
Yep, local Asian grocer. Try to pick up a variety of stuff. The fun part of always doing this is like the packages are all in Japanese, so I have to try to figure out like what it is, like so we can say what the snack is.
You have to figure out what it is, and you just showed me the package, which in giant English letters says "Tough Gummy."
It doesn't say the company name, you asshole.
I was going to, sometimes when we'll eat food from other countries, I'll try to say, "You tried that" in the intro in another language. And I looked it up in Japanese. I hit the play button. The woman
be like
spoke
20
the words.
syllables, right?
The woman spoke the words, and I was like, okay, then. I'll just do it the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, I remember, because I took like 2 years of Japanese. Long time ago. I barely remember any of it. But it's like most words are many more syllables in Japanese than they are in English. But it's not like hard to pronounce the words necessarily, at least for an English speaker. Like the sounds are very similar.
Yeah.
But it's just like they talk fast.
Geiger.
Yeah.
What do you think?
They are tough. They are tough. In fact, I have like a sore tooth right now. Probably need to go to the dentist. So here, let me eat one more sugary gummy. And it's kind of hard to chew. They're fine. They're sour. They taste okay. I don't like. It's too chewy. I know it says tough, so it's not like they didn't warn me. But
You knew.
It's a little too tough for me. That said, I kind of like the flavor. It's just tough. I'm just gonna slide them into a high level.
Gummy.
I'm gonna slide them into a high level indifferent. I think if it was a little softer, I'd like it, but I think as it stands, it's just an indifferent for me.
You know what? So I agree with Geiger that I think it could benefit a little bit from just a slightly softer texture. But honestly, I actually don't really mind the texture because it is a little hard for the first couple bites, but it softens up pretty quickly, and then you can bite it and chew it. I think the flavor is good. I like the flavor on this kind of gummy. I don't mind that little bit of toughness at the very beginning. So who knows how much caffeine this actually has? But I think it has a good flavor, enough for me to give it a like that.
I want to give it a like that, but
then go ahead and do it. What's the fucking problem?
no. Well,
the
problem is it took me like a calendar year to get through the fucking gummy. It's way too tough. Way too goddamn tough. I know it's in the name. I should have expected it.
It's in the name!
One
what
of
do you
the
want
2
from
English words on the package. Right? The flavor was okay, but it just, the texture wasn't great. I found myself having to do way too much chewing for a gummy. So I'm going to give him an indifferent to that. Geiger, what the fuck did you give it?
Indifferent.
Oh, okay. 2 indifferents and a like. So average score. Let's see if it can be beat. Let's next go to this sandwich one called the Nanao Mango Cream Sandwich Cookie. It has a strong smell.
Good selling point.
It's about the size of like a small, like a stroopwafel.
Yeah.
It's very, very thin. wafers with what looks like a bright orange cream stuck in the middle of them.
This is crunchy.
If I saw a picture of this, I almost might think it was cheese. It has that cheese kind of color to it, like fake cheese.
Yeah. Does it taste like mango?
A little bit. Yeah, actually. I do get it in the aftertaste.
The outside of it tastes a lot like a fortune cookie, like that sort of cookie. Chad, you're going to go first on this one. What do you think?
Yeah, this... I mean, mango's fine. It's fine. But it's not a flavor that I ever really seek out. It's not one of my top fruits by any stretch. And the aftertaste here... Say, don't touch a mango.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I don't touch a mango.
I just beat one of you two fuckers to it. One of you guys is going to say it.
Mango's not one of my flavors. I don't touch a mango. I throw a mango through the window.
I thought Bango was your brand.
Mango is my brand?
Yeah, right? No?
No.
Oh.
No.
Lemon, maple, and limp. Check the archives.
Limp is a salmon smoking a cigarette in the hallway.
Limp. My brand is limp as a fish taped to an ATM. Yeah, okay. Tape me to the ATM. Be limp while you do it. I don't know.
Excuse me?
What? Those two things are entirely disconnected. I don't enter your ATM. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Make sure you don't have a boner. Why? Why would I even... I didn't have one until you said something. Now
I'm starting to question things. And well...
Enter the pin with your penis. What?
This is awakening something in you. I don't know. This cookie's not really doing it for me. This cookie is not awakening anything in me. The cream.
6 cigarettes in my eye socket.
These dumb fucks don't know that I use gills. Why would they put the cigarette in my mouth?
Cancel your homecoming because of me and not the swastika. Great. I don't like this cookie. Dislike that.
It's not great. I actually think if they put a different flavor in the middle,
lemon,
I could like this kind of lemon, right?
Limp,
right? Tobacco. Any of those? I might like this form factor. I think the wafer's kind of good, but I don't love the mango part. I'm going to give it, unfortunately, another indifferent to that. Geiger, what do you think?
I actually like how crunchy it is. Like, that appealed to me. But the orange cream doesn't, I don't know. To me, like, barely tastes like mango. It's just kind of generic fruit flavor, and I didn't like it that much. So I don't mean to be so wishy-washy, but I think I'm also going to indifferent it as well.
All right. The gummy's still in the lead, but I'm feeling pretty good about this other crackery snack we got coming up after the segment. Chad.
All right, bad segment time. So you
good sales job. Branding is not your brand.
You guys know we're eating some snacks from Japan, and I know we just did a tournament last week and also a country tournament like just a couple months ago, but I planned this a little while ago, so we're doing it anyways. We are going to do a Japan tournament. We are going to find out what the best thing from Japan is based on votes from YouTube white people. from the three whitest guys around.
Time to realize how little I know about Japan.
So I got
Why
16.
is smoking trout the best thing to come out of Japan? Wait and find out.
So I got 16 entrants, 4 brackets here. We'll move through it pretty quick. So first category, as always, food. I got 4 Japanese types of food picked out here. Geiger, we'll start with you. The first matchup, the number 1 seed sushi facing off against the number 4 seed teriyaki. Okay. Teriyaki, Geiger, what do you think?
I'm going to make this short and sweet, much like teriyaki. Well, I guess it's not short. It is sweet. I like teriyaki. Teriyaki's good. Mm-hmm. Teriyaki can even be great. Sushi is fucking awesome. I love sushi, all kinds of sushi. The dumb American sushi where they make it like Philadelphia cheesesteak rolls and what out of it, whatever. And the
smoking fish roll.
The smoking fish roll, they stick a cigarette in the center and then roll a salmon around it.
That's Wisconsin sushi.
I love the sushi where they take like a mackerel and wrap it in like cucumber and like cream cheese and like dried bonito flake and then duct tape it to an ATM. I love sushi though. This is pretty simple for me. I will take sushi.
Novak, you agree?
I
know you're not a big fish guy. Yeah,
I'm not a big fish guy. I wish I liked sushi. There seems to be so many interesting versions of it that could be good if I liked fish. I don't like the Wisconsin sushi wrapping smoked trout in pages of Mein Kampf. Right.
Triumph of the sushi.
So I do love. They opened a place here that has a few locations called Teriyaki Madness, and it's absolutely my favorite fast food of all time. I love teriyaki. I get all versions of it. I know that's probably not the popular choice, but that's what I'm going with for me.
But I think you're not alone there, Novak, because teriyaki, like if you go to a hibachi restaurant, like like Benihana or one of these places, like that's what you get, right? You get like the teriyaki steak or something like that. People love that. But I mean, sushi is one of my favorite foods. We get it all the time. My kids love it. So yeah, sushi is what I'm going to break the tie with. And my pen is not working. Wonderful. Okay, so the number 2 seed here, ramen, famous Japanese soup, versus number 3 seed tempura. So all types of tempura, deep fried tempura shrimp is one of the most popular, but tempura veggies, of course, as well. Novak, what do you say?
I probably will go with ramen. I think I definitely eat it about 10 times as much. And it seems like it's becoming more popular, like easier to get, either everywhere or just like in the like Midwest where we live. And it's like finally making its way out here. It's a century later. So, I'm going to go with ramen.
All right, Geiger.
Yeah, I do feel, to Novak's point, ramen got really popular suddenly. Like it's
having a moment, you might say.
Yeah, like growing up, I always thought of ramen of like the
top ramen
or Maruchan or whatever, and I was like, a cup of noodles, which do at a pinch. But yeah, I love ramen. My kids love ramen. They always like anytime my wife is out of town or for whatever reason not going out to dinner with us, they want to get ramen because she can't eat it. I love it. This is easy. Top ramen for me.
Okay, and so that takes us to ramen versus sushi.
I'll just do mine because I already said that I don't like sushi. So if sushi's going to win this tournament, it's going to have to be on the back of the two of you. So, Geiger, what do you think?
This is really tough because
it is tough. Yeah,
I love both of these things. I think sushi is more versatile. To a degree, like there's so many different types of sushi and fish and stuff like that, and like there's the Wisconsin pot roast salmon that has sushi where you just take a salmon and roll like beef and carrots and potatoes and dunk it in gravy. There's the Code Red Mountain Dew sushi, or It's just rice floating in a glass of Mountain Dew with a piece of tuna on top.
Deep dish cod.
There's deep dish cod. Yeah. There's the KFC famous full sushi where they just hack up some octopus and put it in the gravy and mac and cheese. But I love ramen too. Fuck. I am probably by the slimmest of margins actually surprising myself a little bit. I will probably take ramen as well.
Wow. Big upset
would you have gone sushi?
I absolutely would have gone sushi. Yeah. I like ramen.
I suppose you made it the 1 seed. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I like ramen a lot, but even when we go to like a ramen place, if they have other stuff like rice bowl type, like donburi stuff, a lot of times I'll end up getting that instead. Okay, so ramen advances from the food round. Let's move to the celebrity section of the bracket. So we pull celebrities here. We got some athletes, we got some actors, all sorts of stuff. The number 1 seed here in the news, I'm sure you guys are very familiar with his work. Shohei Ohtani, famous baseball player, beating the shit out of everyone.
What's he
versus
doing?
On the playing field.
Okay. Remember Ohtani would walk out with the bat and just murder the catcher? What?
Versus another famous baseball player, one of my personal favorite players of all time, actually, Ichiro Suzuki.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one versus the 4. Novak, you are.
What a matchup!
Mm-hmm.
This is an awesome matchup. Ohtani is one of the most unique players of all time.
Yep.
Right. Been so many years since someone can do both pitch and hit.
He's the Babe Ruth of our day, except not like completely out of shape and smoking more cigarettes than a Wisconsin fish.
Right.
There's the Babe smoking every trout's favorite, Camels.
He's the Babe Ruth who's not allowed inside that Wisconsin school. Other than that, he's exactly the same. I'm so sorry, really. We're gonna get so much shit from Geiger's sisters.
This all happened. I didn't make it up.
All these
It
things,
happened.
everything we
Ohtani
said happened.
was not allowed in Saukville School. This happened.
Oh wait, yeah, that part. I'm sorry. Well, let's rewind that. That he's allowed in.
I love Ichiro. He's one of my favorite players of all time.
So fun. Yeah.
So I'm going with Ichiro.
Wow, Geiger.
Ichiro just seems like the coolest fucking dude on earth. Like, he's so nice. He's like, there's some video recently. He was like 45 years old. And he was just like whipping a ball up in the air and like cranking homers and laughing. Like, he could just do whatever he wanted.
Yeah.
Shohei Ohtani is cool, but like, he's always beating the shit out of people, which I don't appreciate.
Just laughing while he's doing it as he's just cranking people in the nuts with a bat. Whipping them up in the air.
I really like Ichiro too. I think he's one of the more fun baseball players we've ever had. So I will take Ichiro.
Wow, a 4 over a 1 to start off the celebrity bracket. Interesting. Okay, so that was the athlete side. We'll move. What'd you say?
I said we're old.
That helps too. He's
that's
like more
probably
nostalgic than
because he was. I mean, when we were in our 20s, like Ichiro was like a big deal. Yeah. Okay.
Not
so
my high school, but yeah.
Moving to the Hollywood side of things, probably one of the most famous Japanese-born actors, Ken Watanabe, the number 2 seed, who you guys know probably from like he's in the Batman, he's in like the Godzilla movies and some other stuff. Versus I forget.
Super well known. He's in a bunch of stuff. I don't know any of it.
He was in that movie, The Creator, that came out that I watched. It kind of sucked.
Fucking name Godzilla.
Like the new Godzillas with like Ryan
he was I think wasn't he his famous movie was The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise? He was
I think he's in. Well, he's not. Yeah, I think he's in that too. Yeah. I haven't seen that one.
Did he do the voice of Godzilla?
No,
oh, that's Ken Watanabe. Yeah, everyone knows that.
You know that name. Versus famous director Hayao Miyazaki, who's done, of course, like Spirited Away, Kiki's Delivery Service, My Neighbor Totoro, a bunch of those. Just had a movie come out very recently that's up for some Oscars, Boy and the Heron. So, Geiger, what do you think? Ken Watanabe versus Miyazaki. You seen a lot of Miyazaki movies?
No, I've not seen Miyazaki 1. So, I mean, I've heard of him. he did like Spirited Away, right? And
Yeah.
like My Princess something or other.
Princess Mononoke.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I know all of them, and I actually have intended to watch them because I've heard how good they are.
Mm-hmm.
Fish in the ATM. He did that.
He did Fish in the ATM.
He actually does this movie Ponyo that he made, which is about like a fish with like a weird human face or something like that.
Is it a Wisconsin high school dirtbag? Yeah. Is it my friend Fish from high school? Hey, and he like kills 9 Ronin or something.
With Super Soaker. That's the wrong guy.
Super Soaker? What?
That's the wrong guy.
Okay.
Who the fuck? Who's the Super Soaker guy?
Who's the Super Soaker guy, Geiger?
Hauser.
Tell us about the Super Soaker guy.
Hauser, yeah.
Hauser fish, he's
fucking like Hauser.
What's the Super Soaker? Remind us of Super
Soaker. I think
so.
Long story short, we had to do this.
I could never hear enough of this story.
We had to do this skit for class, and for some reason we were doing some dumb thing with like a drug cartel paying off the government or something, and we said. We were like, oh, we need the guns. And so one of my buddies like, oh, I've got this plastic gun. And Hauser goes, yeah, I got one too. Hauser was a fucking moron. And so he shows up. We get like we have the class together, but like before that class too. And so I'm like, oh, did you bring the guns? And this is back when you could bring fake guns to school. But my one buddy brings out this tiny little plastic looking revolver. Like, okay, perfect, that'll do. And like, Hauser, where's yours? And he unzips his backpack and pulls out this giant. Like space alien Nerf blaster. I'm like, you fucking idiot. Like it looked like something from Halo. I'm like, oh yeah. I mean, I don't know why we gave a shit. It's not like we were putting on Scarface in there, whatever.
you need realistic guns for your shitty high school.
And then the famous other part of that story is Hauser had to get shot. So he shot, and for some reason, instead of just like crumpling to the floor like you would, he just literally flat backed and hit his head on a bookcase. You fucking idiot. It's like, what the, like,
not his finest day.
What are you doing? Like, I mean, to be fair, he should have simulated having like a hole burned into his torso from the sonic heat
laser
of his
blast.
fucking Nerfalator 5000 he brought in. Yeah, that's how.
B-, group member got permanent brain damage.
Cranial fluid leaking onto the floor.
Shoot me with the soaker. I'll crack my skull open.
Shoots a soaker, puts a cigarette out. So everyone got pissed at him.
I was just trying to return the fish to its natural elements. I sprayed it with a super soaker.
So I'm taking Watanabe. Yeah.
Well, okay, Watanabe.
Because I've just never seen any others.
Who you got?
Who's he up against again?
Miyazaki.
Oh,
you seen those ones?
Yes, I really like Miyazaki. Spirited Away is one of my favorite movies. It's an outstanding movie.
So good.
I think I probably like that better than the voice of Godzilla.
Well, Batman Begins, right? He was in Batman Begins for like 15
minutes. Was he
minutes.
in one of the... remember when Clint Eastwood made those like war movies like Iwo Jima and Flags of Our Father? Was he in one of those?
Probably. I didn't see
Maybe.
him.
If I had
Did he take every role that a Japanese
Didn't he
man
do
was
the
written
voice
for?
of Godzilla in Flags of Our Fathers?
Probably. Clint Eastwood, not the best knowledge of history there, but
Letter from Iwo Jima when the guy was reading the letter and Godzilla just bit it out of his hand.
Who's that letter from? Oh, it's from Godzilla. You know, he wrote us a letter and
hoisting that flag up and pushing it up, and there's a big piece of meat on top of it, and Godzilla ate it. Thank you.
So I'm gonna take Miyazaki.
Okay, I'll break the tie with Miyazaki. Yeah, I love Spirited Away, and we've been watching some of them recently with my daughter because there's a couple that are like really good for little kids. She loved Kiki's Delivery Service. So yeah, I think just overall his content is probably better. So that takes us to Ichiro versus Miyazaki. Novak, where are you gonna go?
Unfortunately, I am a man of baseball. It's a common saying. So
I'm a man of baseball.
I knew this before. As soon as Ichiro was mentioned, I'm like, he's got legs in this tournament, so I'm going Ichiro.
All right, Geiger.
Yeah, I mean,
you didn't even vote for Miyazaki the first time.
I didn't vote for Miyazaki. Haven't seen a single thing he's done. I have seen Ichiro hit a baseball a few times, so I guess I'll go with Ichiro.
Okay, cool. Ichiro's delivery service advances. Okay, move into the travel tourism section of the bracket. Now, I have actually been to all 4 of these places, and I think you guys have been to none of these, right? But because they're in Japan. But here we go. Anyways, the number 1 seed, of course, Tokyo, right? The most populous, or one of the most populous cities on the planet. Huge city, so much shit to do, great food everywhere. Versus the number 4 seed, Mount Fuji, not too far from Tokyo, but lots of like hot springs there, like hiking, nature, all that kind of stuff. Beautiful mountain. Geiger, what do you think? Tokyo versus Mount Fuji.
Is that the birthplace of Mr. Fuji, you think, or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Probably.
Yeah, we're guessing. I think Ken Watanabe played Mr. Fuji in the Godzilla story, didn't he?
Godzillenheimer.
That was probably it. Yeah. I don't obviously have not been to either one. I very, very, very much want to see Tokyo. Tokyo seems super fucking cool to me. Like, and I would like hiking a mountain, but I think once you do that, then you're like, cool mountain. But like Tokyo, there's just so much.
You can go dip your balls in some hot springs, though.
I could dip my balls in the hot springs. I forgot about that. Probably could dip my balls in my shower at home in my hotel in Tokyo too if I really had to dip the old balls.
Okay,
so I'm gonna go Tokyo for all of its versatile ball dipping options.
I'm gonna disagree. I would love to go to Japan, and if I did, I think I'd be more interested in the like rural portion of it than I would the big city. So it's gonna leave it to Chad.
Okay. I did love both of these areas when I went, but I mean, I spent like a week and a half or something in Tokyo, and I feel like I barely scratched the surface of it. There's just so much to do there. Yeah, I'm gonna go Tokyo. Then that takes us now here to the bottom half of that bracket, the 2 seed, which is Kyoto, which is sort of like the cultural capital of Japan. There's like many beautiful shrines and things like that in Nintendo of America headquarters. And then the number 3 seed, or Nintendo, not Nintendo of America, of course. I meant Nintendo of Japan, versus number 3 seed, which is Okinawa. Okinawa, which is the islands, right to the south of Japan. It's sort of like Japan's Hawaii in a lot of ways, very tropical, that sort of thing. Novak, what do you say?
Were either of these featured in Saving Private Zilla?
Starring Ken Watanabe as Godzilla,
right? Both of them, actually. Yeah, both of them.
I suggest you start Googling more movies.
Cool.
Because here gems like Full Metal Godzilla aren't going to be around for long. So.
All quiet on the Zilla front.
This is hard for me to choose, like not knowing having done no research on what's there.
Yeah, well, do you want to see like a bunch of shrines and stuff, or do you want to go hang out at the beach, basically? Okinawa also has a beautiful aquarium. If that sways your vote one way or the other.
I've seen, once you've seen a fish smoking, you've seen all the fish you need to see. So. Let's go to the shrines.
Yeah, how many cigarettes they got in those aquarium fish?
Like a James Dean looking fish. Me, I don't know.
Yep.
Was not ready.
You.
Are any of them playing my favorite movie, Good Morning Godzilla?
No, neither of them.
No. Okay.
You replaced a country with
Yeah.
the name of a monster in that one.
Yes. Yeah. Well, like, so Robin Williams is
get that
going
straight.
like, "Good morning." He's just talking to Godzilla. Godzilla's like, "Hello."
You could have said Godzilla Morning. That's what you could have said.
Much better. Godzilla Morning Vietnam would have
Yes.
made no fucking sense.
I think it's much better.
Okay, fair enough. I think the beachy kind of tropical Hawaiian like sounds very relaxing. The culture would be cool. Like to soak in the culture of Nintendo Japan would be amazing. But I think I'd rather just like sit on the beach and with Godzilla and like sip some drinks and hang out.
Okay.
That's true.
Okay.
Plus, Mario's decent chance of being in a wild card bracket.
Didn't Ken Watanabe play Bowser?
Okay, I'll break the tie. I will vote Okinawa because I absolutely loved it when I had it. It was so beautiful. I've never been to Hawaii, but Okinawa was like how I imagine Hawaii will be like when I finally go someday. Except probably farther from where I live. I guess it's the big difference between Okinawa and Hawaii. Okay, so the finals here for travel: Tokyo versus Okinawa. Let's bang this out, Gagger. What do you think?
It's still Tokyo. I really want to see Tokyo. Every time I think of Japan, I think of Tokyo first.
I think this is the only one I wouldn't have that I would have had Tokyo beating. So Tokyo.
Okay, Tokyo advancing to the finals. All right, wild card region. I don't know why, Novak, you thought Mario was in the wild card region of Italy, the Italy tournament we did.
Right.
So,
and 4 other tournaments.
Not just Mario Day. All right, in the vacation tournament. Anyways, wild card round. Number 1 seed Mario versus.
Yep.
Versus.
Well, I'm sorry. How do you say it?
Versus the number 4 seed, Long Life. And so what I mean, like, so the people,
Like the Invincibility Star? Oh.
like the fact that you could just keep eating super mushrooms to have a long life. No,
30 lives code?
yeah, yes, the Konami 30 lives code is no, but it the people, especially in Okinawa, but in Japan, are known for having particularly long life expectancies. Many of the oldest people to have ever lived were from Okinawa. Yeah, long life expectancy versus Mario. Novak, what do you think?
I mean, why should it be that they get to live these nice, long, full lives just because they eat food straight from the earth, take care of themselves, and that my life should be cut short because I eat nonstop Hostess products and refuse to exercise? This seems unfair to me. And since I called Mario, I'm going to go with Mario.
All right, okay.
So they live a long time, but is the quality of life good? Like, I don't want to be 120 shitting in a bag. Like, that's not...
I don't know. Why don't you fly over there and ask them?
I will.
How's your quality of life? Do you shit in a bag?
In a bag? Do you have a colostomy bag?
Just
you old
look
fuck?
at you because they don't speak English.
You're in your 40s and can barely make it to the toilet now.
No shit. I'm wearing a diaper as we speak. I have more in common with Mario than someone who's going to live a long life, so I'll take Mario.
Okay. What are those things you have in common with Mario?
He's overweight. He eats pasta.
A lot of time around toilets.
Constantly chasing a girl in a skirt. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
You're
Take
you're going down pipes all the time.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Last two. The number 2 seed, Anime, famous Japanese product, anime, Japanese cartoons, and the number 3 seed, Capsule Hotels. Do you guys know what a capsule hotel is?
No.
It's just like a little I think I know. Go ahead.
Yeah, so it's like a hotel. It's very big in Japan. I actually stayed in one night just to try it out for as like a novelty. But basically, the hotel, like it's the hotel room. You walk in, it's a hallway, and it's just like a wall with a series of like tubes, like you might see in a science fiction room
Mhm.
or science fiction movie, where it's like two stacks, like 2 rows high of tubes, and your room is just that tube, and you crawl into it, and you like close a curtain, and then it's just a bed, and like there's a TV on the ceiling above you that you can watch while you lie in bed, and then there's like community bathrooms and stuff like that, and so a lot of like businessmen will stay there if they have like an early meeting downtown or something like that. And I stayed there. There was there's like the sauna there, so I saw a lot of naked old Japanese men walking around on their way to the sauna.
Hell yeah.
I did turn on the TV, and most of the channels were Japanese porn. So that was nice to see, all scrambled and everything, as they do. So capsule hotels versus anime. Geiger, what do you think?
Well, I've never stayed in a capsule hotel. I don't particularly think they sound all that. I mean, the scrambled porn is cool, but
Scrambled porn's cool, yeah.
I mean, I can get scrambled anime too. I mean, it's a big deal.
Spice on.
There's some pretty cool Godzilla movies on that porn site. I kind of like anime. Like we talk, now. Would you consider? Come
You
on,
like
now.
hentai?
I like hentai. Is that considered anime?
You don't get out of bed for less than 6 tentacles.
I pop a couple capsules or two. Is like those Princess Mononoke type, but that's anime too, right? Or
Technically,
yeah.
Technically, it is because it's Japanese animation, but
I've kind of
it doesn't hit the same way that like
Right.
some of those like weird nerdy Japanese cartoons.
I got it. I started watching a little bit like I kind of like the cyberpunk ones. Like I just watched Ghost in the Shell for the original for the first time like a couple weeks ago. It was kind of cool. So I will actually go with anime. Novak.
Okay, Novak.
Capsule porn.
I don't love anime. A lot of it's pretty shitty, and
Love anime.
I like to
You weeboo.
read my books left to right. But the capsule thing sounds fucking terrible. Like it sounds, I'll be a little claustrophobic.
Yeah, it is. You have to be okay with that tiny space. Yeah,
We've already established we aren't living long lives. We're going to be inside of a capsule soon enough. So let's go. I'll go anime.
All right, anime versus Mario for the championship of the wild card
God damn
round.
it, you
Fucking nerds.
You stacked the deck for Mario.
What are you talking about? I'm innocent.
Mario, okay? Mario.
Okay,
Is that what you
okay.
wanted?
So Mario versus something that has no chance of winning. I vote hentai. Oh wait, I'm sorry, Mario.
You vote Mario hentai.
It's a me. Oh god.
All right, well, let's finish off this side of the bracket. Mario versus Tokyo. Geiger, what do you think?
Just picturing Mario rampanting through Tokyo, Godzilla style. I'm gonna win, just smashing the buildings. I mean, I'd rather see Tokyo than play a Mario. I could play a Mario game any old goddamn time.
But what if you played a Mario game in Tokyo? That'd be something, huh?
I can't pick. Well, that'd be both. I think Tokyo itself is still because Tokyo. You make a good point. Mario is in Tokyo. I can be in Tokyo and still play Mario, but I can't. Just playing Mario doesn't bring me to Tokyo. So I'm gonna say Tokyo.
Okay, great.
Can't fight whatever that logic was.
Bulletproof.
Good luck,
like a madman.
You had a steel trap with that one.
I'm gonna pull. We do this once a tournament, but we can't let Mario win. We couldn't let him win the Italian tournament. We can't let him win this. So Tokyo.
Right. Just you wait until we have the Mushroom Kingdom tournament. He's gonna have his day then. Okay, back to the other side. It was Ramen versus Ichiro. Novak.
I think I feel like Geiger might be choosing the food here. But I'm gonna go with Ichiro. I'm more excited about Ichiro than I am about ramen. So Ichiro.
Okay, Geiger.
Yeah, I'm absolutely choosing the food. Ichiro's done. When I'm going to watch the same clips over and over again, I can continue to eat ramen, and it's delicious.
He's done.
So I'll take ramen.
Put him in a capsule. End his long life.
Whoa! I didn't say I'd kill him. I just Shohei Ohtani will beat the shit out of him.
Okay, you picked ramen. You said
I did.
Oh fucking hell!
Yeah, I know.
This is a tough one. I don't know. I've probably gotten more enjoyment out of my life from Ichiro, like watching him play.
I didn't know what you were gonna say there.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't even always order ramen when we go to a ramen restaurant. But Geiger makes a pretty good point. Ichiro is done. He's buried in the ground. Yeah, if I could only have one of these two for the rest of my life, I would take ramen. So I'll pick ramen. So that's going to put us at ramen versus Tokyo for the finals of the best thing from Japan. See, it worked out okay. 3 whites.
Yeah.
So Geiger, what do you say?
So like, I can eat ramen.
We didn't pick Mario. It worked out okay. We didn't pick tentacle porn.
I can eat ramen in Tokyo.
Mm-hmm.
But just eating ramen doesn't make me in Tokyo. I actually am going to take ramen because I can enjoy ramen all over the place, as opposed to like, I really do want to see Tokyo, but ramen is something I probably enjoy more regularly in my life, so I will take ramen.
All right, Novak.
Yeah, to your guys' logic of your Ichiro logic of which one you're going to use more for the rest of your life. Even if I make it to Tokyo, it's probably going to be a short stay, whereas ramen will always be available. So I'm going to go ramen as the Japan.
I thought for sure you were going to tune in Tokyo.
I would have voted Tokyo from those two. So that's interesting. But congratulations to ramen, the best thing to ever come out of Japan. It has been decided.
That's culturally appropriate.
Okay thing for me.
That is not Luciano Pavarotti equivalent. All right, we did it. That is better than burned corpses of jacking off people in Pompeii. Yes, that is better than that.
Okay, the final Japanese snack is the Morihaku cheese curry rice cracker.
Oh, I get that curry. Give it a whiff. You can smell that curry.
Yeah,
I don't love the curry seasoning.
Oh, that's actually,
Like
I love Japanese style curry. Like if you're talking about because it's usually not as spicy. Is it like what you think of when you think of curry, like Indian curry or something like that?
Yeah, like Indian dishes are like the curry they use there is intense.
Yeah.
Overwhelming.
With Japanese, I feel like it adds just a little bit of spice, but like still really good flavor.
These are individually wrapped. They are small crackers, or I don't even know if you call it a cracker, but I think they have a nice flavor. And I taste the curry. I taste the, what else did we say was in there?
Cheese.
Oh, I don't taste the cheese at all, actually.
No.
Rice?
Yeah, it is a rice cracker. So. I taste the cracker. And I think that it's a well done amount of spice on there. I'm really enjoying it. Going back for more. I'm going to give these, I'm not going to quite put them to a love, but I'm going to give it a high level like that. I think they're very tasty. It's my easily the best snack of the day for me. Geiger.
I actually didn't like the smell, but I like the taste. I don't know why that is different for me, but they've got a little spice to them, but it's not bad. I agree. I don't taste the cheese. I mostly taste the curry in it, in the crackers as well, obviously. So I am going to go with the like that. I think these are pleasantly tasty and they get a good crunch. I like rice crackers in general, so that helps.
It's the smell. We got 2 likes, Chad. Likely they are going to win if you even give them a middling score.
Yeah.
But let's see if we can get a welcome visitor.
I remember that that famous line from Ken Watanabe where he said, "Godzilla is a virus." Remember that?
But he is Godzilla.
He played two roles in it.
Oh, okay.
It was like an Austin Powers Dr. Evil situation, you know.
Self-loathing Godzilla.
Godzilla is a virus. It is my smell. Goes out in the ocean and just
Yeah. Okay. I don't like these as much as you guys do, but the texture here is really good. It's got a really nice solid crunch. It's satisfying to bite into. I like the curry flavor. I like the smell. I don't know which I'd pick between these or the gummies. It's my favorite of the day, but I think it's pretty good. I am also going to give it a like that.
All right, welcome visitor, and easily easy win there for
surprising.
I
wouldn't have guessed this one of the three.
Did you guys see that Godzilla -1 Homecoming when he painted a swastika into the football field?
I did.
Oh, that rascally Godzilla!
Yeah,
always up to no good.
Rascal.
What a rascal! Like a racist,
Holy
maybe.
Shit. Nazi Godzilla.
Do you see that prankster Godzilla? What he got up to?
Godzilla Hyla. That was what his nickname was. Okay.
Yeah. That was it. Uh-huh. Yeah.
So maybe someone's still listening for some reason.
Remember when Godzilla threw a pumpkin through the window? Do you remember that?
Yeah. I remember that. I remember when Ken Watanabe refused to play the racist Godzilla in Godzilla -1 Homecoming. Do you remember Godzilla -1 podcast? The story of us getting canceled. If you
Inglorious Zilla.
Impeccable. I like how your pun is just no setup, no joke, just Godzilla movie.
Band of Zillas.
Band of Zillas.
Tape
Godzilla.
me to the Zillas.
What are we even talking about that?
We're talking about a singing fish, singing Travis the Rainbow Trout, and being duct taped to Godzilla for some reason.
Okay.
That's what we're talking about.
That's fair. You did explain it for me, I guess. Okay. So while Novak looks up more war movies, I'll go do the stinger. So if you love Godzilla, if you love Ken Watanabe's portrayal of Godzilla, if you like anime, any kind of anime, if you were that fucker that ruined my homecoming, Ken Watanabe
update the IMDb.
What did I do now? If you ruined my homecoming, fuck you. Except for that cool fish prank that was pretty sweet. If you taped an ATM, I'm sorry, if you are a fish bandit or whatever, you taped a fish to an ATM.
Das Godzilla.
You would love our podcast, so you should. Hold on. Novak's lips are twitching. Something else is happening. The thin red Godzilla? Is that what you wanted to get to? If you have a better pun than Good Morning Godzilla, try to clear that bar. I dare you. Reach out to
Doctor Strangezilla, okay?
Oh, that one's actually pretty good. I like that. Yeah.
Godzilla Hawk Down.
Black Hawkzilla.
Oh, two alts on one classic there.
Nailed it.
Got losing. Godzilla Dark 30. If you 12 hours in Ben Godzilla E, whatever that Benghazi movie was, and he fucking pushed through this shit. If you want to get a hold of us, let us know what you think of our snack ratings. Suggest a snack for the podcast. Whatever you want to do, you can give us your feedback at youtrydat@gmail.com. We're also on Twitter, #YouTriedThat. We're on Facebook with YouTriedThat group. We're on Instagram and YouTube. If your friends and family would like this type of lunacy, let them know about the podcast, and thank you all for listening.
All right, before we go, do you have a favorite Godzilla villain? Right, there's many famous ones. Mothra.
Mechagodzilla.
Ghidorah. Right. I'm looking at a few other ones here. King
Power
Kong,
Rangers.
I guess you could count.
Oh,
Right.
King Kong.
Power Rangers, Godzilla.
I don't know.
Rodan. Rodan's a famous one.
Voltron.
Voltron, Thanos. What else? Yeah, like humankind, I guess, if you think about it.
Bryan Cranston or something.
Yeah, Bryan Cranston. Yes. The actor himself.
Matthew Broderick in that one from like the 90s or whatever.
Did you ever watch an old show when you were a kid called Spectre Man?
I know what you're talking about. It's like a Voltron knockoff kind of thing, right?
Yeah, well, it's not like a bunch of people formed together. It's just one guy turns into a giant warrior, and he fights off these monsters.
But it looks like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers kind of, right?
It's
like
just like
dude in a
two
suit.
guys in costumes on a city set, like whipping each other around. It's so good.
It's so good. Oh, good is not the word I thought was going to come out of your mouth there. Okay.
It is so shitty.
It's fucking hilarious.
It makes me so not limp.
So yeah, so my son got into Power Rangers like briefly for like I don't know 4 or 5 months. Like,
The old school Power Rangers.
Yes,
1980s
well,
or
it was a
90s.
newer one where there were dinosaurs, and then he learned about the older ones, and he had all this lore. Okay, that one's like that one's a kind of different Zord, and he's got like a mace. And I'm like, what in the fuck are we doing? But I watched the old one, and they're so embarrassingly shitty.
Mm-hmm.
And like the bad guys are just dudes in like lycra bodysuits. Like it's like, how did it get popular?
Well, I mean, you don't think he was watching it for the same reason I was watching it back then, which is
He
had
was
a big-
5. I'm just going to warn you. So probably not.
Oh,
Just
he
cut
was-
you off right there.
he was 5 when he got into it. Okay.
5 or 6. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was 14 and learning things about myself thanks
Yeah.
to Amy Jo Johnson, the Pink Power Ranger.
You were making your own, what do they call them? Puddles or puds or whatever like the bad guys, aren't they?
I don't know. I don't remember a thing about it.
Okay,
Is
fair.
Pokemon technically, is that Japanese or?
Yes.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm surprised it didn't make the tournament.
Jake is also big into Pokemon as well.
Yeah, actually, my daughter's been coming home from school now from pre-K with all these Pokemon cards. There's one girl at school that like has an entire binder full of them, and like a type of folder that like we used to carry baseball cards in back in the day or whatever.
Yeah,
And I've seen her like when I go to pick her up, she's sitting there with with the binder on the table, flipping through the Pokemon cards, and all these 5-year-olds are just like gathered around the table staring at it, you know? And then my daughter told me like at first she was giving them out to kids for free, but now she like makes kids do like, oh, you have to like give me a drawing, and then she'll like exchange. And I'm like, this girl is like early stages of drug dealer. You know what I mean? Like this is how it starts.
I'll give you a Bulbasaur today, just to give you a taste.
Yeah, first card's free.
you want
know?
Snorlax? Well, dance, Rummy. Let's see it.
Rummy. That's your code name for every drunk person. Hey, Rummy.
All right. Well, who's your favorite Pokemon guy?
Oh, I'm a big fan of the Dragony one. No, actually, the one I always laugh about. So my son was like I said, super into it, and we were doing this like. He was trying to name, like, it was some quiz online. He was trying to name them all. And he goes, oh, that's Flaffy. And I could not stop laughing. I'm like, they named one fucking Flaffy? That's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. So every time he's like, oh, what Pokemon? Every time he's playing Pokemon on Switch, like, oh, you're catching Flaffy? He's like, Dad, he's not in the game. He gets so irritated.
There's no Flaffy.
Pikachu and Ken Wanatabi.
Now, Chad, you got into Pokemon when you were 14 because, like, you were super turned in by Wartortle, right?
Oh, yeah. Squirtle. Squirtle's got that round shell. You know how it is, yeah. I used to tell Squirtle to put him on the glass, and, you know.
Garchomp got back.
That'll do it for this time. We'll be back next time. We're trying out 3 brand new things.
This is